What is up, guys? Prop Truth here, and welcome back to the channel. So today what you guys are gonna be getting is a new archetype that came out of Burst of Destiny, and that is the Floowandereeze Deck Profile. Never thought I'd be playing this deck, to be honest. I actually wanted to build Swordsoul, but the time was getting kind of expensive, and then Omega wanted that, so I gave him that shit. And I was like, you know what? I gotta play something else. I can't keep playing Kotal, because I know you guys love me playing Cybers, but I can't do nothing right now. We don't even have Heat Soul. So I was like, I guess I'll play some birds. Played in the tournament, and when it was the locals tournament, 7 rounds, it was really good. I went X-2, loved it. Enough said, let's get straight to this profile. But before we do, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, show some love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification button as well. You guys ready? Let's go. So, first up, we gotta play the MVP is Rise of the Mega Monarch. This guy was like 50 cents to like max $2 a couple months ago, and now this card is damn near 50 bucks just because of this deck. This card helped a lot in the tournament. Obviously, if you guys seen other videos, this guy can interrupt on your opponent's turn by targeting a card on the board and putting it on top of the deck, and then targeting a second target if you tribute to win, put it back into the hand, and also you either play his graveyard or putting a card back into the hand. So this guy is really clutch. He can interrupt a lot of things. You can get your dimension shifted back into your hand if you have no graveyard and repeat the whole process all over again. Really, really good card, guys. I want to try 2, but this card is too expensive right now. Then next up, I'm playing 2 Floowandereeze Imp. This card, in the tournament though, I will tell you this much. In the tournament, I was not playing 2, I was playing 1. I just started recently playing 2 just to test it, because I was only playing 1 because of the fact that I just wanted to see how it did with 1. And then on top of that, I wasn't playing, I was only playing, what's his name, the Apex Avion. That's what I was playing in the tournament, and that came a lot more better on like clutch, on specifically negation. The only reason why I wanted to take him out to try another Imp is because with Avion, it's just they're gonna try to force negate or whatever for them to go off. Pot of Desires, they pick calls, so you're gonna obviously negate that. So but then you know they still got cards in their hand to possibly go off. When Imp, just your opponent can't activate special summon monsters in attack mode, and if they try to get over him, he cuts an attack and defense in half. So I'll be honest with you, I might actually put him in again because it is an Omni negate, it's a free negate, but I really wanted to try this out instead. I like how Imp worked even at 1, and then when you can get him, you can always get him back if he ever gets banished or out of the grave. You know, you can just use Ostrich to banish him, and then use Toucan Sam to put him back into your hand. So there are ways to just get him right back to the hand. But for right now, I want to test 2 out. You know, I see a lot of builds are playing 2 with 1 Abramax and then 1 Riser, but I felt like I was bricking so much. Like there was a round where I drew Imp, Abramax, and Riser, so I was like, let me just take out Abramax and test it. Next up, you have to play your 3 Straddles in the deck. The Robina. Robina is your start off card, level 4 lower winged beast monster, and then once that happens, you immediately get to normal summon again. Most of the time, you're going to search for Eaglin, or you're going to search for your statue. And all the Floowandereeze say once you normal summon a winged beast and they're banished, you add them right back to the hand. I'm trying to keep the video simple because I'm pretty sure you guys know what they do by now. So you have to play 3 Rabina and then 3 Eaglins. This is also your Straddles for the level 7 or higher winged beast monsters. So this is how you're gonna get your Imp, your Riser, or if you're playing Apex Avion, you'll be searching for him as well. And the same thing, immediate summon. I like the fact that it doesn't matter who you say. If you got the field spell, it doesn't matter who you summon first, Rabina or Eaglin. It's just really good. Yeah, so you have to play 3. Next, 2 Ostrich. Ostrich is the banish out of the other player's graveyard. Like I said, you would banish if you were trying to get Imp back into your hand and he's in the grave. You would banish Imp and then use Toucan Sam to target a banished Floowandereeze card and just add it back to your hand. At first, I read this card wrong. I thought it was a Floowandereeze monster. It's actually a Floowandereeze card. So like you can actually like banish one of the Floowandereeze spells or trap cards and just get it right back to your hand. So really good card. I like Toucan Sam. Like I even thought about playing 2, but ratio, you have to do it ratio style. The one statue, this is, a lot of people are citing wind statue, wind kaiju now to get rid of this statue, because this is a problem for the majority of the format. Really good card, stops pretty much everything. Then as for hand traps, you're going to be playing your three dimension shifters. This card, it does not, a lot of people think that dimension, like banishing your stuff, like if they don't read the card, that happens to them in the tournament, they try to, you know, dark low me, and then just next thing you know, they're like, okay, he's gonna banish everything. But it's clutch. Like dark low doesn't even hurt this deck at all. So, you know, dimension shifter hurts heroes though. So you're playing the 3 dimension shifters. I'm playing 2 ashes. 2 ashes is just, it worked fine with me, and then I'm also playing the 2 imperms. Again, this ratio pretty much worked fine for me. I wanted to throw in a 3rd imperm, to be honest, because it is a negation. So like, and when I had Avermax on board, not Avermax, Apex, I said Avermax, Apex Avion on board, I'll have, it's technically 2 negates. So now I'm a monster negate, and I can use him to negate spells or traps. So I was trying to see more of an imperm than anything, but it really doesn't matter, because once you shift the majority of the decks, like I've had a lot of people scoop game 1 just because it's shifter. You know, it's a really good card. You know, it doesn't really hurt Swordsoul. Swordsoul can actually play through this. It's just they won't end with a beastie board. The most they can end with is Grandmaster, or the other level 10, the one that if anything gets banished, banish a card on board. Like that card is more scarier. Like you could play, this deck could play right through Grandmaster. It's the other dude that's deadly. So I experienced that, and that was actually kind of scary for me. So yeah. Then off to the spells. You're playing, obviously you gotta play your 3 field spells. You have Magnificent Map, and then, you know, the 1 terraforming. You playing here. This card is so nuts. Like, this is an additional normal summon. A lot of people forgot about that in the tournament. The fact that this deck does so many normal summons, it's funny because of the fact that when you activate this and you reveal your level 1 Floowandereeze to summon it, they think that's your normal summon. And then they try to go off, and the next thing you know, by the time you already established board, even if you summon the Apex Avion or your Imp, you still get use Imp to get that extra summon. You still have another summon that you can end up just still going off if you can. So it was really good, really funny how a lot of people thought that. I did not think a lot of people will fall for that, and believe it or not, people did. People really did. So yeah, this is, you gotta play 3 of this, of the field spell. Then obviously you're playing your pot of prosperities. A lot of people were asking me, and I see a lot of people online talking about it. They're like, oh, why don't you play extravagance? Because your opponent doesn't get to know what you're playing. I get that, but it doesn't matter, because in reality, if you're gonna activate pot of duality, they're gonna still know what you're playing. Like, this is just a bigger version of pot of duality. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether you wanna play extravagance. You're still gonna play the duality. So does it really matter? Like, even if your opponent starts thinking about, you know, oh, what can I do here to beat Floowandereeze. I know he's playing Floowandereeze now before he even gets to his turn. So it's like, to me, it didn't matter. That was one reason. And the second reason is because I don't have extravagance right now. I have pot of prosperities, but I don't have extravagance. How funny is that? And that has so many reprints. So I am planning to pick up pot of extravagance just to test it. But with pot of extravagance, it gives you the +2, which is good. It's not bad because you don't use your extra deck. But the problem with that is that this gives you more of a choice. So instead of drawing 2, I'd rather see 6 cards and pick the most broken one out of it. You get what I'm saying? And then that, not only that, if your opponent sees that, oh snap, you know, he actually just needed the field spell to really go off, use the field spell and you still have a normal summon. So it can really help in different ways. It really just depends how you play it. Your opponent will always know what you're playing just because of duality. So it really doesn't matter. And to me, it never mattered. And I see a lot of people talking about it, and I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. What you're gonna do if you don't draw Extravagance? You're gonna activate Pot of Duality, though. You're gonna reveal what you're playing. So at the end of the day, my thing is that it doesn't matter if you're gonna play Pot of Prosperity or Pot of Extravagance. It's your preference, your choice. Then next up, you gotta play your 3 Book of Moons. Book of Moon, this card is super clutch. Like the fact that you can dodge Imperm and Veiler. I did 7 rounds. This happened to me at least 4 times, and I said Book of Moon, and they still keep going off from there because they lose target. The cool thing about it too is not only good to help you, but it's also a defense card. Like, so if they're trying to attack your statue, you Book of Moon it, you know, and still be able to go off, and then that saves you from going into your Riser play. So you can end up doing the whole Riser play if you want after, like activating Dreaming Town, and then be able to go off from there. Or if they normal summon, you know, most of the time you're gonna be able to still play on your opponent's turn. But Book of Moon is really clutch. Then 2 Crossout Designators. This saves you a lot. Saves you a lot of trouble. Like if you have Book of Moon and they go Imperm, if these 2 are in your hand and they go Imperm, just book your monster, because let's say if they have Ash next for the Eaglin or something, you know what I'm saying? So you might want to save that, save this for like something that's more worse. So yeah, 2 that Crossout Designators. And then for the 1-ofs, you're gonna play the 1 Called by the Grave. You have to. It's like your 3rd designator. I mean, I have a 3rd designator, but I wanted to do 2 and 1 just to test. Then you're playing the Unexpected Wins. This card is insane, like especially if you're doing this on your opponent's turn. A lot of people didn't know about the draw 1, draw 2 effect. Like, you know, you reveal up to 2 Wing Beasts, put them in the bottom of your deck, and then you draw into the same amount that you revealed. So this was like really clutch. That saved my hand a lot of things, drawing into like Book of Moon, drawing into Ghost Arc, or drawing into like Called by the Grave, or even Crossout Designator. So like if I had this on board by the time it was my turn still, I would rather do this first to see if I can draw into like stuff like this to help me stop my opponent interrupting me. And then the tribute part is just insane. At first I read this wrong. I thought it said tribute your opponent's monster, but it's a tribute a card. So like this was able to help me clear back row to summon Rise or summon Imp. The card is really good, guys. And then the last spell is that 1 Ghost Arc. You have to do Ghost Arc. Sorry about the train, guys. You have to do Ghost Arc because you can actually, it's like an extension to you. So like, you know, you just banish a card. No, you banish your Floowandereeze, Elan, anybody, or any level 1, you normal summon a Wing Beast and be able to get them back to your hand. And it's really good too. You have to. Then the traps that I've noticed not a lot of people are not playing is Scary Sea. People are playing the Dreaming Town, and then not a lot of people playing Icarus. This saved me a lot too in games, especially Swordsoul, because Swordsoul have their own Icarus. So what happens is that they go activate, they target their monster to blow up 2 cards. You go activate, target my monster to blow up your 2 cards. So like it was a back and forth. So seeing this against Swordsoul was just clutch. Nobody plays this. Like this saved me against so many decks. I don't see anybody playing Scary Sea, and I think it's because people just don't want to give their opponent normal summons. Guys, we're in 2021. Most of the time, your normal summon is only once, and it's like, you know, nobody's gonna normal summon 3 times unless you're playing a mirror match. But this saved me against Drytrons. This really, Drytrons don't normal. The only thing they normal summon is Herald Diviner. So what are they gonna really do from there? Once you negate their first special summon, it goes right back to their hand, and then next thing you know, they're forced to only normal summon, and then you go off. When I went up against Drytrons, this saved me against Drytrons. He won Dyro, and then the reason why I 2-0'd him is because he won Dyro, and he did the 4,000 ritual guy. He had, I forgot what link he had, and then he had Sanctum. Oh no, he had the 4,000 hit. He had Destroy Phoenix. That's how, because he ended up popping Sanctum on my turn and summoned artifacts. artifact. What's his name? Oh my god, the one that you can't special summon out of the extra deck. So yeah, he did that, but it didn't matter because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna normal summon everything and go off from there. So he destroyed Phoenix, the field spell, but I still had a normal summon, so it didn't matter, and I was able to just go off from there. And then I banished his destroy Phoenix with Ostrich. So you summon Ostrich, you banish the Phoenix, and now the Phoenix can't come back. So this little card right here, this dollar card, just took out a $90 card. So remember that, guys. You could just banish Phoenix with Ostrich and still get another summon right off of that. So yes, I highly recommend that you guys play at least one Scary Sea. You have to play Dreamtown. This can interrupt on your opponent's turn by giving you that normal summon. Plus, it's a Book of Moon. So the Book of Moon does come in clutch once in a while. It barely happens, but it does help. I only did it once out of the whole tournament. And the Icarus attack is just to clear board. So like if your opponent's entering end phase and they got 2 back row, you might want to clear that back row. So yeah, guys. 41 cards, I think it was. 41 cards. It's cards that I wanted to tech in it, like Howling, because you do have water. Like Ostrich is a water. You have Ostrich is a water, and Rabina is a water. So what's crazy is that if I control either or, I just banish a spell card out of my opponent's graveyard, and then now for the rest of the turn they can't activate spell card. You negate all spell cards effects on my opponent's field. So like this can stop your opponent, but it's something I was thinking about testing. I haven't seen anybody try this out yet, but yeah, you have water in the deck, guys, so really good. Off to the extra deck real quick. I'm gonna breeze right through it because it's just cherry targets, to be honest. The Grandmaster, totally awesome. Sunlight Wolf. That's just because if I have to go into the extra deck, I doubt I ever will. Almirage, and then you playing the 1 Mechaba. Then you play this because you got Lyricalist at least running around now all of a sudden. This is actually for Dogmatica, so like you think of this, you bring out the Mechaba, now you have a free negate. This is really just for mirror matches for going up against Tri-brigade, and you just banish the Omen, and that's it. They can't interrupt you now. Their highest they're gonna go is Link 3 for Tri-brigades. Then Down the Magician, just this is all part of the Zeus play and stuff like that. Predator Plant. Get rid of that Predator Plant. You don't want to deal with Dragoon or Phoenix Destroyer. AA Zeus, Dragoon, Ents, and then Access Code Talker. These are pretty much all cherry targets, and some for like Dogmatica and stuff. I actually was able. This is 14 in here, guys. Just to let you know, I did have a Phoenix Destroyer, but I had to give it back to my buddy Jesus. But that I was using it part of that side deck, guys. Is gonna be 3 cherries. This really helped a lot in the tournament. Yeah, whatever you're going up against, you pretty much have the answer for it. This helped a lot against Dogmatica, Shadal, and you just call Mechaba, and that was it. It was over. Like now they have no negation, and they're gonna have to just rely on Imperm. So really clutch. You're playing your 3 token collectors for Swordsoul. This actually saved, this helped too. Soul Sword really wasn't the issue in the tournament. It really wasn't. The issue was I went up against Golden Lord, but he sided in Inspector Border. Who the hell plays Inspector Border now? Inspector Border, we don't go in extra deck like that. That's the only one reason why I have the Almirage. But like we really don't go in extra deck, so it doesn't even matter. So he got me with that. Macrocosmos, I don't have a Dimension Fissure. That's what I'm really looking for, but Macro came in clutch on a lot of things. Like you go Macro and then you just establish board with the unexpected wins, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Double Solemn Judgment, I wanted to play 3, but it's just the extra deck. The side deck is so tight, so it was really hard. 2 Solemn Judgments, 3 would have been the best. Free negation, like gating 3, you're getting ready just to kill your opponent. That's perfect aside. Then you're doing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster just to clear back row. We can lose the back row. 3 Dark Ruler No Mores for like big, they get like Dragon Links and stuff like that. You gotta be able to clear the board of Dragon Links, or else they will stop both your normal summons. You need to control this. I do have some Dragon Link players in there as well for Swordsoul. When they set up their negation, this is really good to use against that. And then the 3 evenly matches. 3 evenly matches was it barely came up, but it did come up I think twice, and it helped me save the game because once you go end the battle phase evenly, they gotta keep one monster on board. So then even if it's a negator, you activate the field spell, and now they have to negate. They're gonna either have to negate Magnificent Map, or it doesn't matter, because whether they negate or not, you still have your original summon for you to go off. So evenly was really clutch in this format, in this tournament. So there you guys have it, my Floowandereeze deck profile. You see, I'm running the counter trap. I see a lot of builds not playing the counter traps. You know, White Howling, like I mentioned before, is something I want to really try out because like there is water monsters in the deck, and I gotta find a way to put Avermax back in. You know, I just want to test it right now with just 2 imps, and I really like the build. I like it better than the Dogmatica build. Dogmatica build, what I like to end with is more of like, you know, with statue and imp. I'd rather end with that rather than imp and Ecclesia with a 2, pretty much punishment is a 2-pop because you're gonna send the ints. You know, 2 pops, some people can still play through that. With statue, most decks can't, so they gotta force themselves to punch that, and that's when you'll go off and start summoning Rise on their turn. So that's my opinion on it. I do like the build so far. I am gonna try out the Dogmatica build. Like I have the cards, so I'm gonna try it out, see how I like it. Maybe keep a certain ratio of cards in there that I personally like. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys really enjoyed this deck profile, hit that thumbs up button. I will be posting up in the description. There's 2 TCGPLAYER accounts, not only mine now, it's actually one of my man's, Glenn. I'm gonna be putting his account on there too, since he's doing that a lot more because I'm always working. So it'll be in there too. So if I don't have something that you're looking for, he might have it. And if you guys need anything, just actually let us know in the comment box below and we'll get the cards for you. Alright guys, I also have my your playmat. Don't check that out. You guys can get custom made sleeves on there as well. The discount is in the description below. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you at the next video. Later.